Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager 24, episode 29. Martina King has made such rapid progress that, in a way, we're already eclipsing where we're at now, which is that second tier, rookie 50. She's up to a number one seed, 336th in the rankings. She can qualify for higher tournaments. However, unlike teammates, I do not want to overdo it with King. For the teammates, it's going to be all about the finances, right? Trying to bring in those winnings as best we can. Bigger tournaments means bigger price share. For King, we want success. We want her to maintain good form. So she's rocking that rookie level tournament. But for the second tier rookie, the rookie 50, she's not. She's not yet dominating at this level. So until she does so, even though her ranking may be good enough to go up, I don't want to move her up until she's winning at this level as well. First three rounds are in the books, the quarterfinals. A 6-3, 6-1 win on this one, and pretty comfortable on the first two as well, well ahead on the winners. So throwing Nava into qualifiers for the biggest tournaments, a 500 level tournament, hasn't necessarily netted better cash. In fact, it locks them up for 2 weeks because qualifier and tournament, and then if you get knocked out in the qualifiers, it's only 2,000. Semifinal is where we finally face a challenge, somebody ranked just behind us, the 3 seed, and a potential at least seeded opponent in the final on this one. Balanced match could advance, and we do 6-3, 6-3 into the final. Definitely closer than the other ones, not as dominant, but still winning. This is now our fourth 50 level tournament. We have won one. Another win here, a 50% rate, might suggest that we actually are ready for the next tier, and it is considered an easy match, and we do win. So 50 level tournament victory, obviously a good thing, and I think we might actually be ready for the third tier after all. Medical update on Emilio Nava has seen a left ankle sprain, but not just as a temporary injury, but as an increased risk to future injuries. This one is said to be potentially recurring. So still in the 50s for now, ranking climbing even higher as we're picking up big points. 50 points at a time apparently is enough to be counted as big points, up to 254 already for Martina King now. Another 1 seed and should be the favorite. 50% win rate doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to take it, but it does mean it's a high enough rate that as soon as I get some tournament registration, I'll be pushing King up to the third tier. Coming to the end of April, only got up to 31,000. No big tournaments over this stretch, and the one bigger tournament was that first qualifying exit. So, we didn't do terribly well. Tournament winnings, 23K. Not terrible, but not terribly well. That means we are going to head into a negative balance to start May. Hopefully we can still at least get to a positive balance by the end of May and wait till the end of June before we trigger into finishing the month with a negative balance. My goal was to have that be July or August, but if we can at least make June, we'll be on track for definitely our best financial scenario at the end of a year that we'll have been in, and very likely we'll have some positive balance with just the board injection. Final victory, so 3 out of 5 now at this level. Definitely King can handle this level no problem now that we've got a sample size. And more than that, the only challenge she faced was literally in the first round where she was pushed to 3 sets. Otherwise, every single round was quite easy, including an easy final victory. We come in at just shy of 30K debt to start the month. Of course, we're going to get winnings here, already making a pretty healthy dent into that. That dent being 6K, 6,125 is the prize share win that we get for each time King wins a second tier tournament, which has been twice in 3 weeks. Things have changed for us a little bit. here in the last month, where we've seen, for one thing, King has already seen her rank go above Kayla Cross. Alexa Noel and Emilio Nava both struggling just a little bit with their ranks right now. Noel is wiped out. Nava, of course, is injured and coming back from that injury. We've got everyone set to do some training this week. Morale is fairly good, though not great. No idea why Martina King wouldn't be beaming at the moment, but I guess she's already bored with second tier tournaments, even though she literally just started playing them. But form is at least average for everybody, excellent for a couple. Cross, though, has had 2 straight first round exits in her latest tournaments, and her form is starting to drop off pretty quick. That's worrying, especially when her ranking's not great to begin with. A week ago, Kayla Cross had +2s. Now, after that second straight first round exit, she's down to -1s and some -2s in her technical, and even her mental and physical have taken a hit. With the injury, Nava not participating there for a few weeks saw his rank drop just a little bit, and he ends up outside of the automatic qualifying, and so he gets declined for the French Open. We're going to miss out big time on potential winnings there. That sucks for us. Big training week, though, for Martina King, with a +1, now a 9 in serve power and backhand. I've actually been working on both of them the last month, and then tactical skills up to a 17. And just a quick check-in on where she's at overall. Anticipation is approaching a 17. The other 2 are already there. We're just missing the natural fitness and footwork and the physicals from being incredibly strong. But definitely not maxed out. She's still got room for improvement, but we barely train it these days. Same on the mental. Been focusing really on the technical side, where it was all 5s and 6s. Now it's 9s and 10s for the most part. Forehand consistency a little higher at 11. Topspin at 12. And a few of your more skill-based shots a little behind. We need to get that control in particular up to an 8. That's probably my next target. Not based on it being almost done, but based on it being a need. Round 2 has seen a 1-game result. That was it. Not even a full set. 1 game was played. They played 7 points. King won 6 of them. But we don't know if it's a victory or a loss, who the injury is. We'll find out here in just a second. It is an injury to King. King is the one who withdrew. She's going to read Andre Agassi's biography while recovering. It's a bad one to an extent. It's a minor tear. A tear is usually a terrible sight as somebody who's gone through 2 muscle tears. Left thigh, but 24 days recovery, so that's lucky. Oh, and Kayla Cross is also hurt, pain in her left ankle. So 3 out of 4 are hurt right now, and Kayla Cross, with that 3rd straight first round exit, is now down to weak form. So you can now exclude Kayla Cross from the successful season that we've been having here now into the middle of May. We're going to be down to 3 succeeding. I don't know if we're ever going to get Kayla Cross to bounce back. That is the experience that I've had up to this point. If you can get there and maintain, you can maintain long term. But the moment it's gone, say goodbye to it, because you're never going to see it again, at least not in your other team members. Maybe your lead team member, the one that you coach yourself, you can probably get to bounce back, but I've still never even trained a second or third game plan with Martina King. Well, second round exit. That one at least will pay a little bit. It's a 140 tournament. With multiple injuries, let's take a quick look at medical reports, that is. This is the 3rd injury of King's career, probably the worst one she's had. She's just had some general pain in the shoulder and in the spine, and this all happens as you get older. Cross, this is her 9th injury, but it's just general pain. It's definitely a minor one, and her injury aggravation risk is very low. Noel, currently healthy, 5 career injuries, just 1 last season, nothing yet this year. Very low injury risk. that's helpful at least. And of course, we looked at Emilio Navas recently with the ankle. He's still recovering from that. 11th for his career, 5th of this year. 3 of them are pain, 1 is inflammation, 1 sprain, worst injury of the year so far. He still has overall aggravation risk at very low, so luckily. But with the series of injuries we have, there's a real risk that we're going to get through May and not make the positive balance now. King is still rehabbing. Cross, Nava's finally recovered from his. Cross out in a Pro 70 round of 16. 1500 is all, but it's the first time she's made it out of the first round in a while. It is French Open time. Alexa Noel wins her first round qualifier and her second round qualifier. Will she make the tournament? It does take 3 to get in. King finally entering a recovery phase. That's good to see. She's been in full rehab so far, and we might just make it. Especially getting to that third qualifying round. And Noel has qualified for the French Open. Watching here early on, Noel gets through the first round. What a run here. 4 straight wins from Noel in 4 days to get into the second round of the French Open and to get deep into earning us some money. Turn of the month, though, is about to take place in tomorrow. We will have technically finished the month with a negative balance, but we already know that we are sitting on prize money from this particular run that will see this easily be a positive balance by a good 20k or so. I'm going to go ahead and sort of fudge those numbers and say that, hey, we've made it through May with a positive balance still. We'll count that as May winnings. Prior to this healthy payout, the tournament winnings were really bad for May, though. But like I said, we're okay. Okay, second round exit. She lost bad in the second round, but at least she made it there. And King has recovered from her injury, so it only took a 1-week recovery period. And Noel, it's 39,673 is our 24% prize share for that one. Now, for June, we've got another 22,000 to go to try to make a positive balance for June. Like I said, we'll give May the check mark of, hey, we still made it. June, though, it's going to be hard from here to get another 22k. But definitely not the hardest task we've been up against. There's a slight chance that we could push into July still with a positive balance, and we're going to turn around pretty quickly here with Wimbledon. And we've got both Noel and Navas in the qualifier, or Nava in the qualifiers to have a good chance at another larger payout. And with the tournament not yet done, Alexa Noel, we won't know just how many points she picked up and what that does for her ranking, if it can get her into the automatic qualifying zone for Wimbledon, and it might be too late to try to change that. So I think we're going to be stuck trying to go through the qualifiers again with Noel. Clay season coming to an end, and this was a rough little stretch for us compared to where we were at in April, mostly down to 3 injuries and 1 athlete really losing form. But as for King, same number of points won as the previous, but in only 3 tournaments, so a much better win rate, higher tier tournaments than what we had done through much of the previous period. 11 matches won out of 12 played, and the 1 loss was the almost immediate exit in that second round because of injury. Was the only loss she had. So it was a good stretch for us, and it saw our ranking climb to 208. Cross actually had her ranking go up 24 points, 3 wins in 9 matches played, amazingly. And I think that came down to I had her in some higher level tournaments than I guess what she was doing previously. Noel, 124 points won, up a few spots in the rankings. Surprised it wasn't more, but it really came down to 4 of the 5 wins that she had for the entire period in just 3 tournaments played. Came down to her run with the French Open, and really good price share for that. Nava fell off, missed out on the French Open, should have qualified for the automatic bid, but saw ranking fall, only scored 24 points, only 3 matches won in 7 played in 4 tournaments. Really poor stretch, and again, key, missed out on the French Open completely, but that will not be a problem for Wimbledon as we are headed for the qualifier instead of the automatic, and we are easily qualifying for the qualifier, so we won't have any issues with that one. But already mid-June, and just 17k left to cover, but that's looking easier said than done at this point, especially when King has a couple weeks before she's back into another tournament. So Alexa Noel and her run in French Open is seeing her want to reduce the percentage. Is so low already. A 4% reduction is massive. We're gonna see her morale tank even if we take the 2% reduction, but I think that's what I have to go with. I can't afford to give her a 4% reduction. She's into the top 100 now, though. Would be good enough, but I think it's too late to swap Wimbledon, as it's 2 weeks from now. Yeah, because here's already the bids, so they've already gone through. Noel and Nava are the 2 active this week. Noel out in the second round, but Nava continues on. It's a Pro 125, but loses in the quarterfinal. It's an okay run from the pair. Second and third round exits for them will at least bring us a little bit of cash, especially on those being higher level tournaments. Cross and King are now going to start overlapping on similar tournament pathings. So we're going to see them playing together, and we'll see who's coming out on top. I'm assuming at this point, with Cross being down on form, that it should be pretty damn obvious who's going to come out on top, but you never know. Maybe they'll get a chance to play each other. Current form check on everybody. Nava has been losing physical fitness since his injury, and it's been hard to get it back. In the meantime, his technical is slipping away. Noel still has good form, but Cross, after the poor performances, saw her technical fall away and her physical. I have not trained mental at all, but I've been trying to train physical to keep it up, and the technical is about neutral, slightly negative. It's not terrible. It's not as bad as I expected after her terrible run of form, but King has now also lost form due to her injury. So even though we were winning every freaking match we were participating in, going on an injury break has left her without form as well. So her physical is not negative, but it's only a +1 and not even quite +1 across the board. And her technical has gone down to neutral. The timing, the -2 because of the racket penalty. She is now up to 3 stars overall, by the way, and now being seen as that 4.5 star to 5 star potential. They're starting to recognize what she can become. She did pick up another knock, by the way, a little bit of discomfort in the shoulder. June's not done. We have managed to get that balance nearly to positive, though. So as we go to wrap this episode up, we're at that funny little moment where they haven't quite got the coding right, and the balance is showing 40 and a gajillion numbers after that, but it's $40 at 18 cents is where we're at. We have a positive balance before the end of June. July, well, Wimbledon's about to take place, so I would think we're going to get enough winnings to probably have a positive balance once again at the end of July, just possibly, which means in the end my original prediction of making it till August before having that negative balance is probably correct. And if we can do that, by the time we get to the end of the year, I would think we should have a couple 100,000 with the board injection and absolutely be able to make the next upgrade or two in facilities to offset. And that's a whole year without anything additional, just the regular board injection that you get yearly, which means it feels like we are on the path, especially with the growth of King. We're on the path to making those finances bigger, better, stronger, maintain it longer, and things slowly but surely being able to take off. Grow the reputation of the academy, sign better athletes, make better winnings. King, of course, still growing and developing, etc., etc. It feels like we're on the verge of finally getting out of this hole, out of this difficult position that we've been in now for, 3.5 years? We're still going to be taking things quick. I think kind of the rate of play is where this will always be at. It's only 8 episodes a season type scenario. We go through pretty quickly with things, but that seems the path. And at this rate, assuming that we can at least hang on to Martina King and sign a new contract with her at some stage and keep her around long term, it's looking pretty good. I mean, Noelle signed a multi-year deal, a 4-year deal. We've got a 3-year deal for Cross and Nava. King currently expires next year, so we've still got more than a year left. We are at some point going to need to make sure we get a new contract signed with King long term. Might even try to do it this year. Satisfaction right now is just good. I'm curious what are we missing? Qualify for a slam. She's going to get a chance for the US Open. She will go into qualifiers. Win one tournament at that higher level. We're about to begin competing at that higher level, so it's possible that that's still going to happen this year. The ranking is locked in. Like, we have easily done that this year, which is surprising. There's a real good chance that before the end of the year we might negotiate that contract and not wait for it to get into that last season. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.